And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to race number 10, the final race of the first half of the regular season here of Season 8 of the NNSCRA Snickers Cup Series. We're getting ready here for cap off what's been a pretty exciting race weekend here at Dover International Raceway. However, our Mobil1 Cup Series race was a bit of a wreckfest early on. It did go green at the end, but it was quite a few caution flags before we got ourselves into a long green flag run. So today's race could be more about survival than fuel strategy, which is what I kind of expected this weekend would be coming in to Dover, but it hasn't exactly panned out that way, so we'll see what's going to happen in today's event. We got an opportunity here for two manufacturers to pick up their very first wins of the season and for the very first time ever in NNSCRA Snickers Cup Series history, with Charles Samfer, who comes into this race fourth in the point stand, still looking for his first win of the season, and trying to get Mitsubishi Lancer into Snickers Cup Series victory lane for the first time ever in NNSCRA history. Alongside of him, another driver doing well in points, Ashley LaPlante. She is 12th in the point standings coming into today's race, and she's going to try for the first time in NNSCRA Snickers Cup Series history to get Chevy Camaro into victory lane. Both of them starting on the front row. We'll see if one of them may be able to be in victory lane at the end of today's event, where if it becomes a wreckfest, track position could be very key in this 60-lap race. Charles Jackson, he's going to line up in the third position. Another driver running well in points. Sixth in the standings. The former Snickers Cup Series champ looking for his first win of the season. And alongside of him is going to be our winner from a couple weeks ago, Jessica Shelton, who won at Talladega Superspeedway. Looking for her second win of the season. Comes into this race 16th in the points. Dylan Poteet, the highest starter of the Tweenix drivers, will start off in 5th place. Poteet having a rather struggling season so far, 31st in points, and he'll start alongside the BMW of our current points leader and two-time winner, Sean Galligan, the winner from both Coca-Cola and Charlotte. He comes into this race over another two-time winner, Trent Dunham, by a total of 25 points. But it's time to get these cars rolling off as they complete their piece lap. We'll show you the starting grid on the top of your screen. The rest of the points coming into this race. James McLeod is actually third in the point stands. He's been having a strong season, but he's still looking for his first win of Season 8. Charles Samper, as we said, he's 4th. Sean Henley is currently in 5th. Charles Jackson 6th. Danny Wells in 7th. Highest running rookie, the rookie points leader right now, Joshua Falkowitz, is 8th in overall standings. Joshua Michaels, our winner from Infineon, is in 9th. And Joshua Collard is the highest runner of the Mitsubishi Lancer out of Gonzalez Motorsports, as he is 10th in the current standings. Out of all 10 of those drivers inside the top 10 in points, only 3 have been to victory lane. Galligan, Dunham, and Michaels. Everybody else, McLeod, Samper, Henley, Jackson, Wells, Balkowitz, and Collard, they're still looking for their first wins of the season. Here we go, though. Are we going to be in for a wreckfest like we had in the Mobil1 Cup Series race? Or can these Snickers Cup Series drivers keep it clean and green for 60 laps of racing? We're about to find out as Charles Samfer brings the Mitsubishi Lancer Coke Vanilla number 03 down to the green flag. Flagman is ready. The FedEx 400 benefiting Autism Speaks is green. Inside line going to be the preferred line. Charles Jackson was able to utilize it to take second from Ashley LaPlante. Now Dylan Poteet looking for third place. And now Jackson has thoughts about the lead here. He will go to the inside line. And Charles Jackson looking for the top position. Charles Jackson has not been to victory lane since Thornton of Season 6. Charles Samfer has not been to victory lane since the Daytona 500 in Season 7. Both of them, it's been a while for them since they've been to victory lane, and they want to get there here in Season 8, and they could do it here today, as Dylan Poteet looked like was able to utilize the outside line to get around Zachary Fitzwater coming out of 4th, so he'll hold on to 3rd. Fitzwater is now back at 4th, and right now he is the highest running of the rookies, benefiting from starting up inside the top 10 as Ashley LaPlante gets moved way to the high side. She's caught in a 3-wide situation that now has settled out to double wide. There is Sean Galligan right now in 5th place as Dylan Poteet makes a move for 2nd underneath of Charles Samfer. Meanwhile, Charles Jackson has opened up a lot of daylight between himself and this 4-way battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Tanner Sullivan has now moved up into 6th, the second highest running rookie, now trying to actually run down the 76 of Zachary Fitzwater, and he will actually bypass Fitzwater here for 5th place, and that now makes Tanner Sullivan the highest running rookie in this race. How about the guy trying to run down Sean Galligan for the points lead? Trent Dunham, currently back right now in the 32nd position. The Sun Chips number 1 out of Sega Motorsports, back here in a hornet's nest, about to work underneath the Dougie Shears as he's following in the tire tracks of his teammate Isaac Canepa and the number 4 of Danny Wells. Meanwhile, back up to the front, it is all Charles Jackson leading the way. And now Sean Galligan's going to bypass Dylan Poteet, so move the points leader up to 2nd place. Right now, 3 former NSCRA champions are up inside the top 3. Jackson, a former Snickers Cup Series champion, Sean Galligan, a former Mobil1 Cup Series champion, and Dylan Poteet, the defending Truck Series champion. I'll tell you, one of the best moves that was made this whole season, I think, was Charles Jackson going back to a Toyota team. He won the championship back in Season 6 when he drove the number 20 for Joe Gibbs Racing. He then moved over to a Dodge for Everham Mayonnaise Racing in Season 7, did not find any success whatsoever. Went back to his roots, back to the Toyota, and he's been having a really strong season. 6th in the point standings and still looking for his first win, but has been very consistent ever since the green flag in the Daytona 500. And he's about maybe to get a challenge for the lead. Sean Galligan is slowly reeling in the Monster Energy Toyota out of Gibbs Waltrip Mayonnaise Racing, and it is Sean Galligan closing the gap up very quickly. Now is on the back bumper, and will Galligan try and make any kind of a move here? Sean Galligan trying to become a 3-time winner this season. As I said earlier on, his first win in the BMW came at Coca-Cola, and then was followed up a couple weeks later at the longest race of the season at Charlotte. Tanner Sullivan back there right now strong in 3rd. Dylan Poteet currently in 4th. But we're watching here Charles Jackson and Sean Galligan fighting it out here for the lead. BMW versus Toyota Camry. And if you remember the Mobil1 Cup Series race when Jake Rogers and Tristan Folks were going at it, Jake Rogers had a tough time making a move to the inside of Folks for the win. Sean Galligan had no trouble right there, as you saw, getting to the inside of Charles Jackson and move the Hartlepool BMW to the lead. Tell you what, that 44 team is strong this season. They went all of last season with Tweenix Racing and a Chevy SS without a win. They were still consistent. They were one of the highest finishing non-chasers in points. But this season, Sean Galligan's just turned up the heat, and apparently BMW is very much to his liking because he has just been dominating Snickers Cup Series competition. Right now, he's out in front once again. Let's find a couple of other drivers running well in the point standings. How about the 3rd place driver, James McLeod? Right now running in the 18th position. Behind John Cittadino, Jessica Shelton, there's Charles Samper. He's about to bypass Samper. And Samper and he are actually separated from each other in the battle for 3rd in points by only 5 points. So that's going to help McLeod at least maintain 3rd place in points at the current moment with that pass. Trying to look further up, see if any other front runners in the point stands are up there. Not really seeing anybody. How about Sean Henley? Where's McLeod's teammate? There he is, 32nd right now. Back here with Alex May and James Silverfox. As a matter of fact, there's a little bit of a rumor going on that Alex May's only running a few races this season, and then there's going to be a 3rd driver taking over that position on the team at RGE BMW Racing. However, they are not disclosing who that driver is to the media. I believe they're saying the first start that driver is going to make is going to be at Kansas during the second race of the second half of the season. So be sure to tune in for that to see who that driver is going to be. Henley is slipping way back here. There's Jacob Lawler, the defending champion. He's way at the back of the pack here. Joshua Collard's also back here, 10th in points. Not good for him. And our winner from Rockingham, UK, Levi McIntyre. This is actually a battle for 41st. As Sean Galligan continues to lead, three-way battle, not 3 wide. Back here for 2nd. Charles Jackson has it. Rookie Tanner Sullivan wants it. And Dylan Poteet's waiting for an opportunity to open up. And look who's now moved up into 5th. Nathan Hudson is now the second highest running rookie here now. Hudson currently running in the top 5 in the 5th position. 33rd in points. Can't say he doesn't need this kind of a run. He really could use something like this, and having a great run right now in the Red Bull Silver Moon Ford. Makoto Iguchi, this is about the best we've seen Makoto all season since winning the Daytona 500. Makoto Iguchi is actually the furthest running of winners this season in the points, 38th. And Makoto Iguchi looking for the second win of the season, which could definitely help out her chances of getting into the chase, as she's just about to lose a position to another rookie. That's James Qualls in the 70, another driver who really needs a good run this season. 42nd in the point standings, dead last out of the drivers who took the green flag to start the season off at the Daytona 500. And the car that passed him is another Audi, and that's Noah Hart in the 81. So 2 Audis running right now up inside the top 10. Tanner Sullivan and his teammate out of Kyotech Racing, Noah Hart. Noah Hart has 2 career wins in an Audi, and he's still looking for his first one here in Season 8. Comes into this race 17th in points. This could move up inside the top 10 in the point standings if he can remain where he is. Charles Jackson continuing to free fall. Lost 2nd to Tanner Sullivan, now has lost 3rd and 4th to Dylan Poteet. Nathan Hudson now falls back to the 5th position. Right now, though, it is all Sean Galligan leading the way. 23 laps completed, all of them under the green flag. So this is definitely not like our Mobil1 Cup Series race was for certain, where we had caution after caution after caution. I believe we had 5 caution flags in the first half of the scheduled race. Here we're getting close to halfway, and we have run green every single lap. So, with that being said, the Mobil1 Cup Series race was all about survival. I have a feeling, with the way these guys are spread out and the way they're running right now, and with the fact that there's been no caution, this race could come down to them having to work out some pit strategy, some fuel strategy. It's almost kind of like the Coca-Cola 600 all over again or something. Right now, though, Sean Galligan, though, is putting on a clinic. And how would it be for Sean Galligan and this BMW team, a team that just started out here, making their debut? They've got 3 wins already, 2 with Galligan, 1 with Joshua Michaels. How would it be if they could have one of their drivers be a 3-time winner of the season? And how would it be for Sean Galligan, who, as I mentioned, was winless last season? He's got 2 wins already this season. We haven't even completed the first half of the regular season. He's already locked up a chase spot. He and Trent Dunham, we know for certain there's no way they're going to miss out on the Snickers Cup Series chase for the championship. So, you know, Galligan, this is certainly a much different season he's having here in Season 8 as compared to Season 7. Right now, the fact that he's been able to open up as much ground as he has between himself and the current second-place car of Tanner Sullivan could play into his hands as well if this thing does come down to pit strategy, because he's going to be on pit road, off pit road. If they make a mistake, he's opened up enough of a gap of track position on track that maybe they can afford a mistake on pit road and he would still come out as the leader. And Dover's not exactly a very big racetrack. It's known as the Monster Mile. And I'm wondering if maybe, just maybe, we could have this thing come into play with cars on the tail end of the lead lap or lap traffic. Oh, and pit stops are taking place already. Some drivers are on pit lane. Dutta, Shelton, McLeod, Mason. Looking further back, I see Corbett. I see Kyle Matthews, Danny Wells, Michaels. Megan Atkins is on pit road. So too is Levi McIntyre, Sean Henley, William Duncan. Tanner Sullivan, the second place car, has now hit pit road this lap. Along with Cole Daly, Zachary Fitzwater, Charles Jackson, Ashley LaPlante, there's Brandon Gonzalez, Jake Rogers, I think I see Harrison Langford back there. Trying to see who else there is. Canepa, Trent Dunham, Michael Norman, Joshua Collard, and Dougie Shears. So we're waiting on Galligan, and Galligan is in. So is Bob Jones, and Galligan, he's already done with his pit service. That may have been only a 2-tire stop for Sean. Lawler has finished up his service. Sanford was in. Dylan Young was in. And I think James Qualls could possibly be the leader. No, he's not. He must have made a pit stop earlier. I'm pretty certain the way things are going to cycle out, it will be Sean Galligan still the leader. Dylan Pote looks like he may come out in second. We'll have to see with the cycle of pit stops. Actually, no, they're scoring Sean Galligan. Oh, apparently Dylan Pote crossed the line ahead of Galligan when they were on pit road. So too did Bulkowitz and Sanford. So that's why they have Galligan scored in fourth. He probably will cycle around as the leader. And as he comes out, it looks like some drivers are going to be caught a lap down. Kyle Matthews may be caught a lap down unless he's going to come around in the second position. We're going to have to see. Galligan still scored in second. Who's he scored in second behind? Oh, James Qualls did cycle around. I was correct. I thought James Qualls was the leader, but we hadn't had the monitor update itself. So rookie James Qualls, after that round of pit stops, is the leader in the Chevy Camaro. Second place is, I believe, Sean Galligan. Matthews is third. Fourth is Hudson. Ralph Mason's fifth. Sixth, Tanner Sullivan. Sean Henley's actually a lap down. He's dead last right now. I think he may be the only lap car. Noah Hart's in seventh. Jackson eighth. Ninth is now John Cittadino. And McLeod worked his way up to 10th. So I don't know what happened to Sean Henley that caught him a lap down. Trying to see if there may be any damage on his machine. Doesn't really look like it. Pit road is very tight here with the fact that there is a pit wall separating the racetrack from pit road. But I do not see any damage on the Pfizer Viagra number 57 Chevy. So after that cycle of pit stops back between laps 30 to 33, James Qualls, dead last in the point standings out of the drivers that took the green flag to start the season out at the Great American Race, is the current leader, trying to become the second rookie to win this season and pick up what would be his very first win of his Snickers Cup Series career. Qualls, who was a runner-up in the Mobil1 Cup Series chase for the championship last season, just barely lost out the championship to Luke Walker. Trying his luck here in Snickers Cup Series competition. So far it hadn't panned out for him, but that could change here today at Dover. But it is looking like Sean Galligan, who's been the dominant car of the day, is slowly reeling him in. And how about pit strategy for both the Camaros of James Qualls and this guy, Kyle Matthews, now up in the third position. Matthews looking for his first win of the season. It would actually be his second win of his Snickers Cup Series career, as he won at the Milwaukee Mile back in Season 7. And Ralph Mason, the Pontiac out of Kyotech Racing. That pit strategy certainly worked out in his favor as well, as he's up there in the 5th position. Mason's 14th in points, so a good finish here, possibly a win, could move him up into the top 10 in the standings. I'm trying to remember the last time Ralph Mason made the chase for the Snickers Cup Series Championship, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Season 4, back when he drove the number 70 out of Haas Automation Racing. It was that yellow Transportation Chevrolet, and that was a long time ago for Mason. But he has been consistent this season, and now he'll go into the 4th position, bypassing Kyle Matthews. Battle for the lead could potentially be heating up. James Qualls has been reeled in by Sean Galligan. There are a couple cars ahead of him that are on the tail end of the lead lap, but they are up to speed, so I don't really know if they're going to be encountered or not. And another thing that's interesting too, these drivers pitted back on lap 30 to 33, which means that possibly some of those drivers who pitted back on lap 30, I don't know if they're going to have to pit again before this race is over or not. But there will be 20 to go when we hit the stripe. It's the rookie James Qualls, the veteran Sean Galligan. And I think these two are going to be battling it out here, which means that the car just ahead of him, which I think could be McCrory? No, it's Cody Lamas. He's in danger going a lap down if they catch him, but he's got a little bit of distance between himself and these guys, and if these two start battling for the lead, Cody Lamas will be able to continue to open up a little bit of daylight and keep himself on the tail end of the lead lap. Only one car, one lap down after that cycle of pit stops, and that's Sean Henley, and still uncertain as to what exactly happened to him. There could have been some contact on pit road that maybe caused Henley to have to reverse back into his pit stall, or they may have made a mistake on pit road. Whatever the case, that's a tough break though for Sean Henley, because he came in 5th in the point stands, and the last thing he needs, if this thing goes clean and green with no cautions or anything, is to finish dead last here today and not have a DNF. You know, I've talked to drivers before, and they have said, oh, Sean Galligan takes a little peek there on James Qualls, that if they're going to finish dead last, they'd much rather finish it with a wrecked race car rather than actually be running on the racetrack and know that they're finishing dead last. And I'm certain that's what Henley's thinking, because right now he's the only car 1 lap down. The car just ahead of these leaders. Cody Lamas is the last car on the lead lap in 41st, but he could actually join Henley as a lap down machine, because Qualls and Galligan, they're not racing each other. Instead, they're kind of cutting the wind for each other. They're drafting with each other. Well, forget what I just said. Galligan takes his moment. He goes to the bottom, and he's looking to go back to the front, and he will do so. I thought those two were going to work together to get by Cody Lamas and then battle for the lead amongst themselves, but no sir. Galligan picks his moment, makes the move. Qualls had nowhere to be able to try and battle him with. No grip on that high side to be able to come off of 4 with a run. And Galligan goes to the point, and now Galligan's left with the task of trying to bypass the Cody Lamas machine and put him a lap down. And what was just a 2-car jamboree is now turned into a 3-car fight. Nathan Hudson, another rookie, up here in the hunt, trying to pick up the 2nd win of the season for Heavy Metal Motorsports, as team owner Levi McIntyre went to victory lane earlier on the season at Rockingham, UK. Galligan is now forced to hold the inside of Cody Lamas and will now put him a lap down in the 41st position. Qualls now follows it through. So too does I was going to say Noah Hart, but I mean to say Nathan Hudson. And Ralph Mason now is the next car to try and get by the Cody Lamas machine. 13 to go here at Dover, and Sean Galligan's back out in front. Remember when he was out in front before, how he opened up a huge gap over who was then the 2nd place car, Tanner Sullivan. Now he's back out in front. We'll see if we can continue to open up daylight between himself and the rookies of James Qualls and Nathan Hudson. Galligan looking for his 3rd win of the season, his 2nd win in 3 starts. 2 weeks ago. No, not 2 weeks ago, it was last week. It would be back-to-back wins for Galligan, which would actually be the 2nd time that that's happened this season, because Trent Dunham also won back-to-back races at Las Vegas and Atlanta earlier on this season, races 3 and 4. And I don't think we've ever had that happen with 2 drivers. I'm trying to remember us even having it happen with 1 driver before Trent did it. This next time by, it will be 10 to go. Still the question of whether these drivers have to make 1 more pit stop before this race is over or not, or can they stretch it on Sunoco fuel. A lot of times they don't really care about tires. They can conserve tires, especially being a concrete track where it doesn't quite eat up your tires nearly as much. But the fuel is the key consideration here on whether you're going to finish this race without making a pit stop or not. Right now, though, Sean Galligan looking very strong out in front, as if he wants to go the distance in this thing. Be his 3rd win of the season. Be back-to-back wins for him after he won the longest race of the season last week at Charlotte in the Coca-Cola 600. And it would be the first time in Galligan's history in Snickers Cup that he would be a 3-time winner in a single season. The last time we had a 3-time winner in a single season, I believe, was back in Season 5, when John Cittadino went to Snickers Cup Series victory lane for a record-setting 6 times. I believe the season before that, McLeod did it for 3 races. But it's been a while since we've had a driver win 3 races in a single season, and Galligan could be en route to doing just that, as the distance is still growing between himself and James Qualls and Nathan Hudson, which rather surprises me, because remember how when Galligan and Qualls were working together, they were able to run down Cody Lamas pretty quickly and put him a lap down. Hudson and Qualls have not battled each other for second, but they have not been able to, with that two-car tandem, close up the gap between themselves and the Hartley-Pool BMW M3. Next time around it'll be 5 to go, and that's when the big question mark is going to come up. Because somewhere within that range, within that bubble, would be basically when these drivers would have scheduled pit stops. But being so close to the end, would you gamble it and just stay out and hope that you got enough Sunoco to get to the end? You notice Galligan is running the middle groove now, not way down low. That is due to tire wear. You cannot run way down close to the bottom with the tire wear problems. And Danny Wells, Levi McIntyre on pit road. A number of drivers are on pit road right now. With 4 to go, drivers have hit the pit lane. We will not document who they are because we gotta watch this with Sean Galligan and see if he's going to make it the rest of the way. We cannot go to pit road, see who is pitting in order to that we might miss out on this battle for the win. And Galligan is pitting. And Dylan Poteet is staying out. So Galligan gives up the lead. Poteet may be the one to try and stretch it. 3 to go here. Can Poteet make it? Dylan Poteet comes into this race 31st in points. This could be the ultimate risk reward for Poteet to maybe try and get himself a spot in this season's chase. Who knows? Right now, he is the leader. I have no idea who is in second. 2 to go. Does Poteet have enough fuel to get there? I think everybody else has been to pit road. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't see anybody else back there that could have possibly used pit strategy. Ralph Mason made a pit stop. He's got fresher rubber, so now Dylan Poteet will let him go. Poteet in a mess full of traffic, but he's trying to win this thing. White flag in the air, 1 to go. Can Dylan Poteet outfox the entire field and make it the rest of the way on fuel to pick up his first win of the season? He just now bypassed Sean Galligan, who has dominated this race. But it could come down, as I said at the beginning of the race, to fuel strategy. Poteet out of turn 4 for the final time. He's going to completely bamboozle the field, and Poteet on fumes is going to win the FedEx 400 benefiting Autism Speaks at Dover International Raceway, his first win of the season. You knew it was going to come down to something like that. I thought maybe Galligan was going to risk it, knowing he was already locked into the chase, but no, he decided to come to pit road anyway, and it was Poteet who's going to pick up actually his very first points-paying win for the first time in 2 seasons. Poteet will go to victory lane here today at Dover. Unbelievable. And you can't really blame Poteet. I mean, why not? You're 31st in points. You know it comes down to having a win to lock yourself up a spot in the chase. And Poteet last season had to rely on a last chance qualifier, a non-points event to get into the chase. As I said, he has not been to a points-paying victory lane in over 2 seasons, I think. It's been a long time. Man, what a race and what a victory for Dylan Poteet. Pit strategy at his finest, picks up his first win of the season. It's actually the first for Tweenix Racing this season as well. And Dylan Poteet could be making a case for himself to be in this season's chase for the championship. He's already made a case for himself to be in this season's All-Star race with that victory. And man, what an event. Where did Galligan actually finish after that cycle of pit stops? Oh, looks like the only other driver that actually risked it was Charles Sanford. And remember, Cody Lamas went a lap down. He didn't pit either, and he comes away a lap down in the 3rd position. How about that? Holy cow, what a comeback finish for Cody. Man. And Galligan will finish outside the top 10 in the 11th position as a result of the pit strategy. What a race. Man, that was a great race. And it came down to pit strategy. Certainly much better race than our Mobil1 Cup Series one was when it was a wreckfest. But hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like. Subscribe to become part of the crew today. Here comes your official full finisher results, overall point stands and rookie points, heading into 2 weeks from today. Because next week, it's non-points racing with the All-Star races in trucks, Mobil and Snickers. Not certain if we're going to have an all-star race for Last of Us Light series or not. I'm going to have to think about that since we're just in our debut season, but I'll let you guys know very soon. For those of you that are in the All-Star races, I will be putting out a video showing who is in the All-Star race, who is not. I'm also considering doing the same thing for Snickers Cup like I did last season, with an opportunity for drivers to get in via one-race deals in the Snickers shootout. I'm still considering that, so I will let you guys know whether that's going to be the case or not. So keep it tuned here on NNSCRA for those videos that will be coming out during the course of this week and possibly next. We will be heading to FDF Super Speedway for those All-Star race weekends, and then our points-paying races begin with the second half of the regular season. Our first stop, oh yeah, the Turn of Death, Thornton, one of the toughest road courses on the NR 2003 circuit. But thank you all for tuning in. I will see you guys next time, as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, Offline Racing at its best. Sean Henley got turned by Chip Dunham, and he saved it! What are these guys doing? Oh, and Henley just got turned now. That time he got turned. Logan Wilson is flipping on his roof. Dylan Young is collected. Sitnowski's collected. Dylan Young is now flipping. Citadino's involved. Mary Cole is in it. Drew Austin has been collected, and Dylan Young continues to flip. Now comes the rest. There is our caution.